You're watching For the Love of Wisdom. In this video, I want to talk about why some Christians and Muslims should be anti-natalists. An anti-natalist is someone who believes that procreation is always wrong. And let me emphasize here that I'm talking about some Christians and Muslims, not all of them. I'm specifically talking about those Christians and Muslims who believe in eternal damnation and hell. I'm not talking about Jehovah's Witnesses who believe that the unbelievers will not be resurrected. And I'm not talking about Universalists who believe that everyone will eventually go to heaven. I'm specifically talking about those Christians and Muslims who believe that some people are going to go to hell for all eternity, where they're going to suffer there and eternal torment and torture. And this is the worst thing that could ever happen to someone. This is the last thing that you want to have happen to your children. And if you do have children, and this is what reality is like, such that people will be going to hell if they don't follow your particular religion, then there is a good chance that your own children, even if you're following the right religion, will end up in hell. And then you may spend eternity in heaven knowing that your children are now burning in hell for all eternity. And of course, no one wants that. Well, the easiest way to avoid that is to not have children at all. But of course, people may be thinking, well, my children won't be going to hell. I'm going to teach my children right and make sure that they follow the one true religion and avoid going to hell. But it doesn't always work out like that. Let me talk about some examples here. There's the example of Fred Phelps. Fred Phelps is known for his protests against homosexuals, has signs like God hates fags, and you're going to hell, and things like that. And he preached, he's now dead, he preached that homosexuals and other unbelievers who do not follow God's law strictly are going to burn in hell for all eternity. Now, surely someone like this would not want his own children to go to hell. And yet, one of his sons, Nathan Phelps, has become an atheist, and he may be headed to hell if Fred Phelps' religion is the correct one. In fact, here's what Shirley Phelps, Nathan's sister, has said about him. Nathan Phelps is a rebel against God. He has nothing to look forward to except sorrow, misery, death, and hell. And let me turn to another example here. We have Ayan Hirsi Ali. She grew up as a Muslim, but she became an atheist after she moved to the Netherlands and became exposed to Western values, which she adopted as her own. And there are other examples here. We have Matt Dillahunty from the Atheist Experience. He used to be studying to become a Christian minister, but he became an atheist instead. And there are some YouTubers, Jacqueline Glenn and Mr. Repsion, who both started their YouTube careers as Christians, but then became atheists. So those, and of course, I used to be a Christian too. So we have some examples of atheists who used to be Christians or Muslims. And there are many more examples, but I'm not going to go into all of them in this video. And there's another thing to be worried about here. If you believe in hell, you probably believe in Satan. And you may expect that Satan is after your kids. He wants to lure your kids into hell. And he's going to use every trick in the book to make sure he can bring your kids to hell. He may get them hooked on heavy metal music, on psychedelic drugs, internet porn, which is very pervasive nowadays. And of course, he has many other tricks he may use to lure your children into hell. So even if you're doing your best to make sure your children follow the one true religion, Satan might get a hold of your kids, lure them to hell, and that'll be that. And of course, you don't want that to happen. And another thing to think about here is that after you die, you have no more influence on your children. Oh, and of course, you will have no more influence on your grandchildren or further descendants. You may have descendants that you'll never meet, countless descendants, hundreds, perhaps thousands, even millions or billions of descendants whom you'll never know and have no influence on. And many of those people could wind up in hell for all eternity, all because you had children. So, do you want that to happen? I think not. So if you truly, seriously believe in hell, you believe that people are going to go to hell if they don't follow your particular religion, the best way to stop your own children from going to hell is to not have any. Now, let me end with a disclaimer here. I do not believe in eternal damnation and hell. I am not a Christian or a Muslim. I'm an atheist. And I don't believe that hell is real, but I also believe that the idea of eternal damnation and hell is inconsistent with the idea of a loving God. And that's the line of argument I take in my video. There is no eternal damnation and hell. So I'm not actually recommending anti-natalism for people. What I'm saying here is that if you are a Christian or a Muslim who believes in eternal damnation and hell, then based on that belief, you should be an anti-natalist. This video has been based on an article that I've posted on my blog by the same title, and you can go there and read the blog. It goes into some more details that this video has not.
Be daddy's little girl, don't tell mommy a thing. Be a good little boy and you'll get a new toy. Tell grandma you fell off the swing, because hell